You got to decide. Then he said, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. And what's the next verse? Verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Jesus now tells Nicodemus a story without telling him the story, because Nicodemus already knew the story. He refers back to the story in Numbers, where it says they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom, and the souls of the people became very discouraged on the way. They've been in the wilderness now 40 years. They're at the end of the 40 years. They want to head up through Edom, and Edom says no. And they have to take a big, long route around through the desert, and they're tired of it. They were discouraged, and the people spoke against God and against Moses. Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? There's no food and no water, and our soul loathes this worthless bread. Now, this is amazing, because there was food that was delivered every morning on the ground, manna, and there was a rock that followed them around with water running out of it. And they say there's no food and no water, and by the way, God, the food you are giving us, we don't like. It's like kids in the cafeteria at the academy. Whether the food's good or bad, you don't like it. So the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. Now, I don't believe God sent the serpents. I know it says that. God gets blamed for everything in the early part of the Old Testament. What had God been doing for 40 years? He had been keeping the serpents out. He had kept their clothes from wearing 10 steps back, because we've rejected. God said we took the snake fence down, right? And he was the fence. And when God